One of the major challenges we face in the area from bushfire management is absentee owners of property, owners that are not present to manage their bushfire fuel. For example, we have a property that's a couple of properties away that has just never been managed in any way. There's a lot of fuel on that property. It's always property that gets mentioned at rural fire meetings that we go to on a regular basis. It's a bit disheartening when I put so much time and energy into trying to manage fuel on my property and we get absentee owners that are not taking the same approach. It is a risk to me. The main threat of fire comes from our southwest. The forestry that border us on the western side, they put a lot of energy into and time into managing their fire breaks, but it's a bit disappointing when we have absentee owners that are doing absolutely nothing. We can all learn from what's just happened and the fire that's been. I think that we just need to be aware of how quickly the fire can spread if that fuel's not managed properly. One of the problems is getting people to make an effort and attend some of these rural fire meetings that we have so that they are aware of their responsibilities of land ownership. One of the big messages I've learned is that I'm responsible for my property. We have quite a unique weather system on the escarpment. At certain times of the year we have a wind that comes from the southeast. Our predominant wind during the bushfire season can be from the southwest. Occasionally we'll get a nice warm northerly coming down. Anything can happen from any direction. Our wind from the southwest is the most dangerous one. It's usually when it's all hot and dry. The wind that we get from the southeast or east is often during a humid time, probably less of a danger, but that happens when the vegetation and the country is so dry, it doesn't matter, it's still going to burn. My advice to anyone considering moving into a bushfire prone area really needs to think seriously about how they're going to manage that, where they're going to build and the type of building they're going to build. They need to think about where their fire risk will come from, the direction, and how they're going to manage their property to try and minimise that risk of it burning their house down. Once you own a property, you have a responsibility. It's an ongoing task to manage fire fuel. It's something that I do on a daily, weekly basis. You have to have in place a strategy, you have to support that with machinery, and I often have meetings with rural fire personnel. I invite them to come onto my property and give me advice. For this size property, I believe the minimum, I've got a tractor with a blade on the front, a bucket on the front. I slash, I have a little fire trailer, 1,000 litre with a fire pump on it for putting out spot fires. If I'm burning debris, we go through the process of getting a permit and I have that machinery on hand. The amount of time that I put into managing fire control or fuel on this property varies. During the height of it, I'd probably be spending 3 or 4 hours a day. You're really doing preparation for 12 months of the year. We get terrific growth up here when we get rain. If the temperature's right, the vegetation can get away on you quite quickly, especially if you've got lantana on the property. It's an extremely fast-growing weed. The pleasure we get out of seeing the wildlife starting to come back in and the birds and the trees, such a lovely place to live. We wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Yeah.